Historic and intrinsic value.
I must have left it in my lab coat when we were resetting the intrinsic chamber.
Hey, welcome to TalkWord. This is the show where we take one English word, put it under the microscope, and really get to the heart of what it means and how to use it. And believe me, today's word is a really good one.
But before I tell you what it is, let me ask you something. What is it that gives a diamond that natural, brilliant sparkle? Or what makes a great story so powerful that it just sticks with you? It's not something that's just tacked on at the end, right? It's a quality that comes from deep, deep inside.
Well, you guessed it, there's a perfect word in English to describe that exact kind of essential, built-in quality. And that word is intrinsic. It's a fantastic adjective, and I promise, by the end of this quick explainer, you are going to be using it like you've known it your whole life. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to nail down the core meaning, what I like to call the essential ingredient. Then, we'll do a little word detective work and look at its history. After that, we'll put it head-to-head with its opposite. And finally, we'll see it in action with some real-world sentences. Sound good? Let's do it.
All right, first things first, let's get right to the core of it. What does this word intrinsic actually mean?
So the official definition says it's something belonging to the essential nature of a thing. Basically, an intrinsic quality is a fundamental part of what something is. You literally can't separate it without changing the thing itself. Think about it. The coldness of ice is intrinsic to ice. You can't just take the cold out and still have ice, right? It's built right in. You know, a really cool trick to make a word stick in your brain is to look at where it came from. It's like finding a secret cheat code for its meaning. And the origin of intrinsic is super helpful. It comes from two little Latin words, intrin, which means inwardly, and secus, meaning alongside. Smash them together, and you get the core idea, from the inside. So the word's own history is telling you exactly what it's all about. It's about a quality that comes from within, not from somewhere else. Now, one of the best ways to understand a concept is to figure out what it's not. So let's look at intrinsic compared to its direct opposite, extrinsic. They're like two sides of the very same coin. And we've got a perfect example for this. Motivation. Intrinsic motivation is that drive that comes from inside you. You do something like maybe you play an instrument or you love solving puzzles just because you enjoy it. The joy is the reward. Now, on the other side of the coin, you've got extrinsic motivation. That's all about the outside. You're doing something to get an external reward, like a paycheck or a good grade, or maybe to avoid getting in trouble. See the difference? One's internal, the other's external. It's as simple as that. Okay, so we've got the definition, we've got the history, we've got the comparison. Now it's time for the most important part, actually putting this word to work so you can use it with confidence. Let's check out our first example. This sentence is basically saying that our curiosity, that need to learn things, isn't something we're taught. It's just a fundamental, built-in part of being human. It's an intrinsic characteristic of all of us. Oh, this is a great one. So the pay, that's the extrinsic or external reward, right? It's money. But the intrinsic rewards, those are the good feelings that come from the inside. We're talking about a sense of accomplishment, feeling like you're making a difference, or just the satisfaction of a job well done. These things are incredibly valuable, but you can't put a price tag on them. And our last example shows another really common way to use this word. Here, intrinsic value means the actual, physical, monetary worth of the thing. The paper and ink that make up this photo, they're worth next to nothing. It's real value, it's sentimental importance. That's something we, as people, place on it from the outside. It isn't built into the object itself. So let's do a super quick recap with your intrinsic toolkit. Just remember these three key points. 1, it means essential or built-in. 2, it comes from the Latin for from the inside. And 3, it's the total opposite of extrinsic, which means from the outside. Got it? And to leave you with a little something to think about, ask yourself this question. What is one intrinsic quality that you value most in a good friend? Is it their honesty, their sense of humor, their loyalty? Just think about that one quality that is such an essential part of who they are. And there you have it, our deep dive into the word intrinsic. Hey, if you had fun breaking this word down and you feel inspired to try explaining a word yourself, you should definitely check out the TalkWord mobile app. You can actually create your own little word explanation podcasts, guided by 2 super friendly hosts. It's an awesome way to learn. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next TalkWord.
They're trying to claim you're an unfit parent because of the intrinsic dangers of your occupation.
Restoration of damaged tissue through telepathic manipulation of intrinsic field memory.